And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and it is Sunday. And you know what that means? It's time for weekly purchases. That time of the week where we investigate what came through the door via DHL, Amazon, UPS, United States Postal Service, FedEx, and of course, that old outlaw Waylon Jennings. It is the weekly purchases, and quite the week once again this week. But of course, this week's version of weekly purchases, sponsored by our friends at jaystoysandgames.com. Use discount code Kyle, save yourself 15% on all in-stock items. I know a lot of you guys and gals watching this week picked up some stuff at Jay's as they got a ton of new arrivals. You'll see a lot of that stuff in weekly purchases later in this very video as well. So shout out to the good people over there at Jay's Toys and Games. And grand opening this weekend, if you're in the Des Moines, Iowa area, head over to Ankeny, Iowa to their brand new store. Up and running right now. They got all kinds of deals. I think it's 20% off all action figures this weekend. So, man, oh, man, got to get a deal. You know I'll be over there once again. So thanks to jaystoysandgames.com. And, of course, Patreon. We're in the month of March, in the thick of it here. We're almost to St. Patrick's Day. Of course, we do got the March giveaway on the Patreon. It is A Man Called Sting, the Walmart exclusive Supreme figure of Sting is the March giveaway. So head over to the Patreon, your best way to support the channel. Plenty of videos, plenty of content all the time over there. A lot going on the Patreon every single day. And of course, we've been talking about it for months, about a month at this point here. It is the March, of course, this month of March 2025 is the 5-year anniversary of this very YouTube channel. Got to thank everybody. We are going to do a special video at the end of the month celebrating the 5 years with some special guests, some announcements, and some fun surprises. So you'll want to stay tuned to that as well. If I can hit 50,000 subscribers by that video, and I got to be honest, guys, I'm not sure if it's going to be possible. We got about a week and a half, 2 weeks, got about 500 subscribers to go. It's going to be close, but I don't know if we're going to hit it or not. I guess it's up to you guys watching this and telling your friends and things like that. But if we somehow do hit the 50,000 subscribers, I have 5 giveaways ready to go. So we're going to do 5 different giveaways. If we don't hit it, we'll hit it someday, but we'll do 1 giveaway from me, of course, in that video. But that's not all. Our friends at Jay's Toys and Games, once again, stepped up and said, hey, we want to be a part of this as well. So they did offer something, and they did give it to me, and I have it here to show everybody. We're going to give this away as part of the 5-year anniversary. So y'all want to stay tuned to details on how to win this. I would recommend subscribing to all my social medias, of course. Sir Paul64 over there on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Threads and Instagram. TikTok doesn't hurt either, and of course YouTube. But they are going to give away one of the skeleton packs, the brand new Mythic Legion Graveyard skeleton packs, hot off the truck. They're going to give one of these away, or I should say I will, in honor of Jay's. They donated this to do a giveaway with. So shout out to Jay's Toys and Games. Look for this as an upcoming giveaway here on the channel. So I got to thank Jay's once again. Salt of the earth over there, of course. So we got that giveaway. Leaning towards doing that Rhea Ripley Ultimate Ring. That would be the giveaway for me as well. So some big time giveaways a part of the 5-year anniversary celebration. So once again, make sure you do subscribe. So we have that going on as well. I want to make a comment this week. I guess you know you've made it. Well, I don't know about that. Maybe you haven't. But this week I was alerted by many people out there. I appreciate everybody watching out for me. But there was some generic McFarlane Toys. Todd, they were trying to besmirch your good name. They said on Facebook, and they had this advertisement going around. It said McFarlane Toy Store. And it basically said, hey, we're going out of business. We're losing the DC license, so we're liquidating everything. And can you believe they were trying to prey on your misfortunes, Todd? I think it's just unexcusable. And I did call my lawyer.
Hi, I'm attorney at law Zach Wild, and I'm here to fight for you.
And thankfully, I did call Zach Wild because he got that taken down right away, Todd McFarlane. So don't say I never did anything for you, of course. But kudos to everybody out there sending me that. I'm like, I have nothing to do with this. They were using my picture, my beautiful face, to move their wares out there. So they said, hey, who could we get to sell this stuff? Who's the salesman we could use? And they wanted to use my face, I guess. And it was a little interesting that it was promoting DC, but then promoting me holding Marvel Legends figures. That tells you right there, something's probably amiss in the advertising, or they don't know how to run advertising. I don't know, but it did get shut down, but thanks to everybody for looking out for me. But obviously I had nothing to do with it. Beware on the old interwebs, as I always say. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. If they're selling McFarlane stuff, all the new stuff for $5, probably not a good thing. It's probably not real. It's probably not on the up and up right there. But hey, if you want to sponsor the channel, you want me to sponsor it, I'm all ears. You know how to get a hold of me. Just head over to my Instagram, Twitter, whatever you want to do. Hit me up. You could be the sponsor of Weekly Purchases or maybe something else. Who knows? Who knows? But I wanted to point that out. Thought that was, I kind of got a kick out of it. I hope just nobody got taken advantage of on that one there. And then this week I was traveling. I was in Sioux City, Iowa, a little bit of, was it South Sioux City, Nebraska? I didn't know where I was. I was all over the place, but I was up there. You can see some of that in my figure hunt video, but spent a day or two up there just hanging out and kissing babies and holding ladies, I guess. I don't know. But I was up there for work, so a little travel this week. This upcoming week, spring break. So hey, how about spring break? No rest for the wicked, as you guys know as well. This week on the channel, a lot going on Kyle Peterson 2.0. Make sure you subscribe over there. There's a lot of videos going on over there. Did unbox that new Two-Face and Dr. Fate Platinum editions that I just miraculously came across, so I did unbox those. That's got a lot of views for that channel. Not everybody watches Kyle Peterson 2.0, and you're missing a lot of fun between Todd and I and Mark Summers as well on the couch. A little bit more off the cuff over on that channel for sure. So subscribe to 2.0 if you have not already. But we did a bunch of DC unboxings this week. Necronominous Wave, worked on that some more. Some Mythic Legion, Zolocon exclusive, Barbarian Mythic Legion exclusive. A lot of fun stuff over there this week. Also, of course, the regular traditional Kyle Peterson 1.0. Sure, why not? We unboxed a lot of stuff. Of course, 4 videos every single day between both of those. Did do a Swoggle top 5 countdown. Of course, Swoggle, St. Patrick's Day around the corner. Who better to do? So we did Swoggle top 5, did our weekly toy hunt. Batman 89, Todd McFarlane. You enjoyed that one. I know we did on that one. Ricky Starks, Starks. We did that one, the new Walmart exclusive and the new Kenny Omega exclusive this week on the channel. We did the Werewolf 2-pack from NECA, available at Jay's right now. Did the new Invisible Man figure with my dad back on the channel. That's a crazy one, as you'll see 2 of those eventually. My dad said, hey, I'm not going to unbox the Invisible Man. I don't want to do that one. So I said, okay, I did it by myself. A day later, he calls me, all right, I'm in on this Invisible Man. So I said, okay, bring yours over. We'll unbox it. So you'll have my unboxing and then our unboxing together, a little yin and yang. But in my unboxing, I also unboxed the New York Comic-Con exclusive from last year, the glow-in-the-dark Invisible Man. So a little bit extra over on that one there, if that is your thing. We unboxed CM Punk and Larry, Ring of Honor Hardy Boys 2-pack exclusive, the Monday Night Wars Series 6. We dived into that. Cody and Dusty, you'll see that one here as well. Jakks Classic Superstars, those have been laying dormant. A lot of people know there's about 100 of those videos that have never been on YouTube that are up on Patreon. It's been so busy with action figures lately, I've been kind of passing those over, waiting for those. So we did put those up as things have slowed down, and you'll see in weekly purchases this week, things have slowed down as well. So you might see another Jakks Class Superstar video next week. There's a lot of stuff from the archive that has never been shown to traditional YouTube. You'll start seeing some of those things when there's no new figures coming around. So be on the lookout for those as well. So as usual, a lot going on both YouTube channels, a lot going on Patreon, a lot going on every single day. No rest for the wicked, like a young Ozzy Osbourne. But now it's time to get down to the question of the week. All right, time for question of the week. The old mailbag is here. You're the old mailbag. She's the old mailbag. But
sack of potatoes over here.
That's right. So Angie is here today to answer all of the burning questions, of course, from the viewers out there. And Angie, how have you been? I haven't seen you all week.
Good. It's been a slow week.
It's been a slow week. And I was traveling this week in Sioux City. You were holding the fort down. And now we're going to literally have to put the fort down because supposedly damaging winds, possible tornadoes here in the next hour or so. So we'll see what happens. It could be the last time anybody sees this collection or us. We'll see if we go down.
We don't already have the new roof on.
That's right. I'm going down with the ship is what I'm doing. But yeah, we are getting a new... We are getting a new roof, so that'll be very interesting here in the next couple of weeks as well. So more on that maybe, but I know everybody's dying to know, Angie, no rats died this week. No rats, no rat funerals after 2 weeks in a row of dead rat talk. No dead rats. Kinda.
Well, there was a rat funeral.
I guess kinda, yeah. There was a rat funeral. Hopefully you guys watched the toy hunt for this week video. Did a little funeral for 2 friends, and unfortunately...
I missed it.
Angie said, I'm too busy for this
No, I
funeral.
was sick.
She was sick for the funeral, and Emma said, I don't care. Just do it. I don't want anything to do it. But Elle and Izzy were there for the funeral. I, of course, digged the holes and buried the souls at the same time. But we did have a funeral for, what was their names again? Gus and Peanut. Gus and Peanut, their names. So we buried them in those boxes. We'll be able to visit them, all that kind of fun stuff. But the other 4 rats really coming out of their shell.
Really thriving.
Really thriving. They're enjoying all being together, and they're getting friendlier, except they always bite my hands. They always think my hands are
They're
food.
so blind. I think they're so blind.
They're blind rats, apparently. So we've heard of 3 blind mice, but now we got 4 blind rats. So we'll see how that goes. But no death, no shocking suicides, nothing like that this week. Just a funeral for a couple of rats. And we're moving on. So now we're down to the question of the week, and a lot of stuff going on this week, or a lot of stuff coming up this week, I should say, as we're diving into spring break. And of course, we're headed to, where was it? Cancun? Is that where we're going on Tuesday? No, we're not going. We're not going anywhere. Angie's working. I actually have a few days off. I got some special projects to take care of and a few other things to do. The heating and cooling guy, of course, we get that checked twice a year. He's coming.
So glamorous.
So glamorous vacation. Got to do some yard work. Got to get ready for that. Got to spray for some bugs. That's just the usual. So riveting spring break right here. But we'll be on the hunt too, so we'll see what happens. But Angie, I think it's time for the question of the week. What do you think?
Okay.
You got a long question of the week. You better break it into 2. So
every time I stare at this light and then I try to stare at the screen, I'm blurry.
It's blurry.
Blotchy.
Okay. Well, question of the week.
Oh my God, I'm seeing spots. At Toyman3000-Isaac, Kyle, question for next week for you. Since you do a lot of traveling, what is one of your craziest travel stories?
Oh my gosh. I could write a book on the stuff I've seen out there in retail over the years, just to let alone going to all these stores for so many years, hunting figures, but then actually working for like my day job, business life, traveling a million stores over my years. And I was in charge of Walmarts for a state on the road, 2004 or 2005. It doesn't matter, but saw so much crazy stuff over that time frame. 2 crazy stories that popped to mind immediately is there was one guy they caught shoplifting in the meat department, and I was back there selling to the meat manager or whatever. They took him in there. They had the police and everything. He was denying stealing, but it was. Have I told you this story? I don't know if I have. But this guy had a huge long trench coat going on, and they got him in there, and they went through, and he was opening up all of the meat, like out of the package, like raw hamburger, raw steaks, all that stuff, and he was throwing it in the pockets of his coat. So they pull him back in there, and they're just pulling out raw meat, unpackaged, like lint and dirt and gross stuff. I guess it cooks off. It cooks off, I guess, but
Ew.
He was denying. I don't know how this stuff, the typical, I don't know how this got in here. But that was a wild story. And then another quick one, I couldn't believe that still is crazy. I was out in the middle of nowhere country Walmart. Walking in, I'm like, oh, this is a bad scene. There's an ambulance up front, so you know there's nothing good going on. Walk in there, and there's this old farmer, overalls and all. Tell me you're a farmer without telling me you're a farmer. He's wearing his overalls at Walmart. And they're working on the guy, because he's like dying or whatever. Yeah. And I'm like, so I stepped over the body very nicely. Very nicely. I stepped over it. I stepped over him. Very nicely. I didn't make a scene.
Wow.
I didn't linger. I just gradually stepped. I did clip his face though with my butt. No, I didn't. But I walked around it, of course. Anything. But then so I do my thing in the grocery area there. But as I'm coming out, they're cleaning up that guy's dead body. I don't know what they're doing. I can't remember. But on the other entrance of the Walmart, there's another farmer down having a heart attack, and they're working on him. So just like what was going on at this Walmart, I said I got to get out of this town. But I could go on crazy stories forever. Shoplifters like fights and things like that. Store managers like thinking I'm like Sam Walton apparently, and I'm going to help them with the mafia and things. Just wild stories I could tell. So those are 2 that stick out in front of me. I mean, I got retail stories from when I was a kid working in a grocery store, some crazy things. I will tell all those stories one day. One day, Kyle's grocery stories. Right. But I could go on for a million days about some of these stories and things I've seen and fights and. It's wild.
It's crazy
wild.
how desensitized you get to like a code blue getting called in a grocery store.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, another one.
I remember a director not too long ago. He had one, like some old lady, like 90-year-old lady. They're trying to revive her. She's dying in the grocery store. And that's just where I want to die. That's probably where I'll die.
Why do everybody come to die at the grocery store?
And I just told the director, I said, man, I don't miss those days. Enjoy. I don't work here. So crazy stories. So that's just a couple right there. But there's wilder ones I can tell from there on. But it looks like there's part 2, Angie.
I was going to ask you, have you ever told this story? The guy that died in the grocery store.
You died in the grocery store?
No, I did. There's somebody die in a grocery store and they found the body later.
I'm sure
Didn't
somebody's
he,
died in a grocery
fall
store.
into something or do something?
Oh, that wasn't me. But yeah, there was, I think it was Council Bluffs or Omaha. There was a guy, and it's kind of similar to my store I worked at. Long story. This doesn't even revolve me, but now everybody wants to know what the story is. There was some kid, and apparently he went up on kind of the roof. There was like a balcony type thing, kind of like the break room, taking a break or whatever. And anyways, he must have slipped in between the walls. Fell down through there, and they found his dead body like 16 years later. That was like a year or 2 years ago. They found his body. The kid's been missing forever. They thought he ran away. Who knows what happened? They
How did they not smell that?
They go to demolish the building, and there's that dead skeleton in the walls right there. But yeah, knowing that store, because I have been in that store and I have called on that store in a former life, I guess we'll call it. I could see how it happens because it was the freezer wall. Like that's pretty thick wall with the freezer and everything else, and
what was he doing?
Be a terrible way to die. You're just in there. And you're just stuck in between the wall, and you're scratching.
It's like the guy that was like hiking and fell straight down. Like
yeah.
What
do you do? That's the last place I want to die.
Okay.
But yeah, that wasn't me. I love that needed to be whispered. And I'm sure it all came up on the mic.
I always ruin your vibe of like
and I'm sure
your collection of stories.
I'm sure it came up on the mic. So like they're hearing the whisper. Like, yeah, just whisper it right into the microphone. Okay.
We're turning into an ASMR channel.
Yeah, you would like that. You love your ASMR. Oh my gosh. All right, Angie's question.
Oh my gosh. We know you're cool with Kyle's collection now, but has that always been the case? When you started dating, early relationship, was it something you had to get accustomed to, or was it easy to fall into having a collector's mindset husband?
Well, I can tell you when we met, it's like a lifetime ago. That was 21 years ago, soon to be 22 years ago when we met. This is poor Kyle, who just graduated college roughly around that time frame. I was planning on going to live with dear old dad. I was like, oh yeah, me and my dad, we're getting the band back together. We're going to eat New York Strip every single night. We're going to hang out. And my dad just said, hold the phone, watch out. Guess what? I got you a studio apartment. I already got the lease signed for you. And I paid the first month. After that, Kyle, you're resilient. You'll figure it out. That's what he said. You'll figure it out. And it was a small little apartment there. But yeah, so I didn't have a lot of stuff. So I've talked about this. It's been a long time since I've talked about this. This is turning into my question of the week. What this turning into. But I have never told the story of the Great Purge, my original action figure purge. A lot of people always ask me, Kyle, why do you collect current stuff? Why don't you get those vintage G.I. Joe, stuff like that? Man, I had all of that. As a kid. And when I went off to college, I sold it all. I sold it all on eBay, liquidated it all. I kept just a couple of things. Barely anything. I got rid of all my action figures. I was moving out of action figures. It was done. It was in my rear view. Titantrons and R3 figures were running wild. And I said, this is hot garbage. I don't want any part of this. Toy Biz, WCW, don't want any part of it. Don't like any of those figures. Don't have them in my collection now. Had to get rid of all of them. I was out of action figure collecting. I would pick up the odd warrior type item here. I'd pick up like Eddie, NECA, Iron Maidens. I'd pick up stuff like that. But guess what? You're a college kid. I was working 2 jobs, going full time through college. I didn't have any money. I had no money. And I buy a few ancillary things. I collected CDs, and you could talk about that in a little bit. But I wasn't collecting action figures until, and I've told this before, as the Classic Superstars, the 25th anniversary of G.I. Joe got me back into the madness you see right now. So Angie, you can talk about when you met me, I was collecting guitars and CDs.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I actually don't have any recollection of you the collection never was like on my mind. Now it's such a big part of our lives, I feel like, but it only bothers me if it gets unmanageable.
Yeah,
and it gets cluttery.
Yeah, that's what the basement's right now. So nobody come over. It's cluttery right now. And that was one of my New Year's resolutions in collecting. And I've been doing better, but I got a day of work to put some things around because it's so easy to do the review and stick it off to the side here where I need to put it where it goes, actually. And sometimes you do this video and, oh my gosh, got to go eat dinner, got to take the kids somewhere, or I got to go travel, whatever it may be. So that's one thing. But yeah, I mean, we had a 1-bedroom apartment, and then we went to a 2-bedroom apartment, and then we went to a starter house. Is that what you call it? Your first house, I guess, which, I mean, I don't know, 2 or 3 bedrooms, whatever. I had an office there.
I don't even really remember the collection there.
Yeah, I mean, I had CDs. Even going back, I had like the House of 1,000 Corpses room. I had all the House of 1,000 Corpses stuff. It was really cool, and chicks love that for sure. But I had that. And I had all my CDs. I mean, at one time, there's a video on my YouTube channel in the infancy where I was selling my CD collection. I told that story just not too long ago, but it had a whole room of CDs and stuff. So And then it progressed. Obviously, I started collecting classic superstars. I mean, at our first house is where the classic superstars and the 25th anniversary G.I. Joe collection started. And that was basically it. And then it snowballed from there and it snowballed from there. And now you see what it is. But it's not like it was always there, because I did do a great purge back in the day where I sold 90% of my collection, 99% of my collection. So, yeah.
Really, since we moved into this house, you used to just have the kind of in that hidden room.
Yeah, it's just like now you got all kinds more room. Now it's time to move to a bigger house. I think it's time. Let's do it. No, let's buy another house. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna buy another house. So if anybody in my area wants to go in on a house and maybe we'll use it for other things and stuff, it could be really the party house is what it's gonna be. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, who knows what the future may hold? I don't know. But yeah,
I've never cared.
Never cared. Her favorite collector piece is me. Yeah. Exactly right. So that's it. That's question of the week. Angie, anything else for you? Nothing. We're out. We're out. Now you know what that means. Time to stay tuned for round 1 of the weekly purchases. All right, time for weekly purchases. A quick one this week. Only one round of weekly purchases. Not a lot going out on the streets right now, but as we've talked about in the toy news yesterday, Walmart Collector Con, spring resets. There's a lot of new stuff coming our way very soon, but we got a few things through the door this week. And the first thing, gotta give a special shout out to Mike Pitkin. Yes, Mike Pitkin, Instagram Pitkin Style over there. And a special shout out to the Council of Certified Good Dudes, as Mike did send me a little custom, and I'm normally not a customs guy. However, I have another custom from him in my collection, and we'll probably do a special video on both of those figures maybe together. But he did send me something very cool. Of course, you guys know I'm an Ultimate Warrior guy. He sent me the Ultimate Warrior Monday Night Wars, but the thing that's different about this one is he customized it into an Ultimate Edition. And as we do remember the Monday Night Raw stage, Monday Night Raw? Sure. Monday Nitro stage that just unfortunately didn't get backed once upon a time. We were supposed to get this Ultimate Warrior as an Ultimate. Well, now that day has finally come. So I got to give a special shout out to the Council of Certified Good Dudes and, of course, Mike Pitkin for this one. And we'll unbox it. Yes, I'm going to unbox it. He put it in here real nice, but I will unbox this one and we will go over it. So stay tuned to that video on the channel. As I say, I'm usually not a customs guy, but things like this, oh, they catch my eye. They catch my eye. And speaking of things that catch my eye, I was in Sioux City, Iowa this week. Beautiful this time of year. Beautiful this time of year. Maybe not. Maybe a little smelly, but you know how it goes. But I was up in Sioux City, Iowa this week, and I did find one of those Walmart WrestleMania shippers. And very interesting indeed is I did find one Kiana James Chase Edition on that shipper. Now, the cool thing about that, if I am not mistaken, she is actually from Sioux City, Iowa. So what are the odds of that? Her hometown, I found her Chase figure. Probably taking it away from one of her friends and family is what I was doing there. But we did get that through the door this week at Walmart. Also, took a trip over to jaystoysandgames.com, of course, the sponsor of this very video. They did have these in stock. I needed a couple more for my collection so I could display all the looks. It is Bray Wyatt, so I grabbed these with that 15% discount code. Gotta get a deal right there. 2 Bray Wyatts into the collection. So I'll be able to display all 3 head sculpts, hand sculpts, whatever you want to call it. Be able to do all of them there. Not done this week. Through the door just before I started filming it, I did get 2 copies of this. What is it? WWE Superstars 2-pack, Dusty Rhodes and Cody Rhodes, the Superstars pack from the Mattel Revealed event last week, through the door just like that. Very cool. Bring on Hero. Where is he? Where is he? When's he coming? Hopefully next week. But got both of those. We'll be unboxing one of them. Probably by the time most people are watching this, it's already been unboxed on the channel. So stay tuned for that as well. How about another deal? Got to get a deal out there. It's been a while since I found some loose stuff out at a toy store, but that's what happened this week. And I had to pick these ones up. One of them I was missing in my collection, so I was very happy to get it. The other 2, very pricey figures, even without the accessories. And when I saw the price for all of this combined, I gave one of these. Like, is this real? I better buy this for a rainy day, and that's exactly what I did. But I did get a TNA Deluxe Aggression Jeff Hardy I was missing. It does have his soft goods handkerchief. I think this is how he escapes from jail, just if he needs to. It does have that. So I did get this figure here. I needed that in my collection. But then the big boy purchases, it was Crime Time Mattel Elites. If anybody knows their deep Elite history, these are 2 very expensive figures. Now, they're missing the shirts, missing the glasses and chains, stuff like that, but still very expensive figures. I got all 3 of these figures for, I think it was $18.99. $18.99. That is a heck of a deal. So that was a deal I could just not pass up. So I did grab Crime Time and that Jeff Hardy for under 20 bucks. Got to get a deal all day long. How about that? Speaking of Jay's Toys and Games, also picked this one up. Fan channel exclusive Spot. I don't know how well this video is going to do. I don't know if anybody is hankering for me to unbox it, but somebody's got to do it, and I'm up to the challenge. But did get this through the door, so we're into the Spider-Verse once again with the Ultra Attire Spot right there. Also got from Jay's Toys and Games, once again, saving 15%, guys. You're sleeping on them if you're not going over to Jay's. Got Catra, the missing piece of my Masters cartoon collection puzzle. So I got Catra through the door as well. And then I wasn't done. The big one I got from Jay's this week, once again, they're going to go fast. I think they had 2 cases when I was there still. But it is the brand new Mythic Legions Graveyard Skeletons. Got to get a deal. 15% off this as well. Grabbed my skeletons here. Always can use a skeleton or 2 in my collection. So I did get this one here. And as you guys do know, this will be one of the 5-year anniversary giveaways on the channel via Jay's Toys and Games. So make sure you're following them over on Instagram, checking them out. They did donate one of these to me to give away as well. So shout out to Jay's Toys. Whoa, stop the clock. Hot mail delivery. I should have known to do weekly purchases after the mailman came. But I do have a few more things to add to the pile this week, making this week a little bit bigger than I thought it was going to be. Through the door via the Jazzwares Vault exclusive line, of course, 1 of 3,000. Orange Cassidy Sketch Edition, Todd McFarlane. We're going to get your thoughts on this one, of course. Orange Cassidy through the door this week. Via Pro Wrestling Tees, how about Will Ospreay? It's finally here, almost a year wait it felt like there. It is the all-in 1 of 3,000 exclusive UK edition. Pretty darn cool looking figure right there. Looking very cool there. Figure so nice, I picked it up twice. So I got a mint on card one, got one to open up on the channel. Almost don't even want to open up that one. It looks so nice in the package. We'll unbox that as well. How about a little flavor, add a little seasoning? How about a little Flavor Flav? I went back and forth on this one, and I finally pulled the trigger. Yeah, boy, that's what it is. And base, how low can you go? We'll get some Anthrax and Public Enemy. Bring the noise over here maybe sometime. But Flavor Flav coming in hot this week. Just had to get it. I'm not a huge rap guy. Maybe we'll talk about it in that video. I like some rap, very little rap. It just doesn't resonate with me like it does others, apparently. I'm more of a heavy metal guy. But I respect the Flavor Flav, of course. 2 more new things through the door this week. Thunderian Guard. I actually went back and ordered another one of these because I figure I need 2 of them, one to display both heads. Always good to have 2 guards ready to go. And then, of course, you got to guard somebody. How about we guard Claudus? And there we got Claudus right there, Lion-O's father. Robo Bear Bill, and Amok and the Lunatacs there. Those are coming later, so hopefully next week those do show up. So there's a late breaking, whoa, stop the clock, weekly purchases. And I guess we're saving NECA for last. It's those no good Ben Cooper kids getting back on my yard. I'm so behind on my Ben Cooper kids. I think I got like 30 of them to unbox. Maybe we'll just blow it all out right there. But we do get an old school one of showing all the guts of somebody inside. I don't even know what the technical term for this costume is. Visible Man. Instead of being invisible, it's the Visible Man right there. What's this one right here? The Werewolf? Wolfman? No. Spooky Monster is his technical name right there. So the Spooky Monster right there. What else we got going on? We got the Metaluna Mutant, an all-time favorite right there. So we got him through the door. And the hits keep on coming. We got the Wolfman. There he is right there. And then the last one, the last no good Ben Cooper kid. Oh, it's the clown. It's just the clown. I was going to say scary clown, but it's just the clown right there. So 5 more Ben Cooper kids enter the arena here today. A wild time if you're a Ben Cooper collector fan, of course. But that is it. Looking around, that's it for weekly purchases. A little bit light this week, which is nice. It's light on the wallet. We got spring break this week here, so I'm sure my kids are going to want to do something and spend the money I saved on this. That's usually how it works. It's going out the door one way or the other, that's for sure. But we'll see what happens in the weeks to come. Not a lot of stuff coming next week, I don't think, but you never know. It might surprise you there. We got a few things here to unbox, so look to these in the next week or so on the channel. But there it is, weekly purchases. What did you pick up this week? Anything fun? Anything good? Let me know in the comments down below. You made it this far. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bells. We got videos every single day and then some. We got even more content for you, of course, over there on Patreon. Patreon, best way to support this YouTube channel and all the content it does bring. Of course, early access to both YouTube channel videos. Plenty of bonus content as well. And don't forget the Sting giveaway this month. ProWrestlingTees.com, search Kyle Peterson, SirPaul64 on the X, the _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, and now on TikTok. So, for another weekly purchases. You know what I'm doing. I'm rocking and rolling, strutting and strolling my way into spring break week.
Well, are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?
We're going to the end of the line.